Hi, welcome to the Beer Temple. I am Chris Quinn, and today I have 3 Berliner Weisse style beers from Night Shift Brewing from Everett, Massachusetts, outside of Boston. And yeah, somebody was kind enough to bring all 3 of these beers by, and they intrigued me. And as I researched a little bit about the brewery, I thought it was kind of a cool, tiny little operation. Also made me feel quite old because the owners of this brewery look like, to me, they're barely old enough to drink, but that's just a sign of things to come. I think it's actually really awesome that people are getting into beer younger and younger. Of course, I'm joking that they're not old enough to drink, but you know, getting into the story of Night Shift Brewing, it was 3 guys. It says according to their website that they still share a single apartment together, so you know, young dudes, and they started home brewing, you know, 5 gallons at a time, got the bug even more, and opened up a nano brewery. They do have a tap room that they serve. You know, they do some distribution, but it sounds like a lot of the beers only make it out of the tap room. A couple of these beers being part of that series, and you know, they brew a whole bunch of stuff, but they have a Berliner Weisse series. So I have 3 beers from that series. I've got the Weisse, the Mainer Weisse, and the Cape Codder Weisse, although that's the Mainer Weisse. Yeah, Cape Codder Weisse. So without further ado, I figured I would kind of go into it. I don't think they have a non-fruited Berliner Weisse. They may make one, but it's certainly not one that I have here, so I'll kind of move on from it. But you know, Berliner Weisse is a German wheat ale that uses the bacteria Lactobacillus. People a lot of times think that there's Brett in it. People say Brett, which is a wild yeast, but you know, there typically is not Brett in a Berliner Weisse. It is a Lactobacillus, which is you know, like the kind of the dairy bacteria, I think, and it makes lactic acid, and it gives a nice yogurty, at times lemony tartness to it. And Berliner Weisse is in that way very nice. It's got the light body and low alcohol that a lot of wheat beers have, combined with this tart lemony quality to it, and it's just a wonderful warm weather beer. Now traditionally they would be fruited, not fruited, but they would take fruit syrups or syrups in general and add them to the beer to kind of tame the tart quality of it and kind of add to it. And what's happening more and more nowadays is just they are brewed with that fruit incorporated into it already. The first one being Dogfish Head that I know of, their Festina Pesh, where rather than adding peach syrup, they brewed with peaches in it. So, you know, again, hats off to my boys at Dogfish Head for kind of leading the charge. So, the Weisse is a 5% alcohol Berliner beer with hibiscus, strawberry, kiwi in it. So, let's see, cork and cage. Let's see. This one was bottled just under a year ago. There we go. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, pretty delicate looking. Give it a little splash there. Move him over. So you can tell that they employed only a little bit of hibiscus. A little bit of hibiscus goes a long way, and you can get a very brilliantly pink beer very quickly by using hibiscus. Oftentimes it's a very subtle flavor, so just from the look of it, really nice and clear, just a hint of a rosy color there, kind of like one of those, some of those like rose gold, I'd say. Now, past the first test of Berliner Weisse, it doesn't smell like puke. And I mean that quite literally. Sometimes if lacto fermentations get out of control, they put out butyric acid, sometimes called baby sick, sometimes called barf. And they can go downhill from there. They can get really nasty, blue cheese, dirty diaper, like bad. And it doesn't smell like that, so it's past the first test. What I do smell is a nice acidity, a nice lemony acidity, or I perceive it as acidity. You can't smell tart, but I don't know if I get kiwi necessarily. I do get some strawberry, and the hibiscus, maybe. To me, it smells like just like outside and kind of fruity flavors, maybe a farmer's market a little bit, but no like big ripe juice. Just a nice light mouthfeel, good carbonation, lots of acid, getting the saliva going there. Nice, subtle, restrained use of the fruit and the spicing for sure. It really has that nice unripened strawberry flavor to it, which I like quite a bit. You know, one of my favorite saisons when it's on is Fantôme, and I love that it tastes like strawberry seeds, is the way I say it, or like an unripe green strawberry. I'm very much getting that here as well. I like that beer quite a bit, so we're off to a good start here. Moving on, we have got the Cape Codder Weisse, which is another Berliner Weisse. I want to see if it's the same alcohol. It's actually lower. It's 4.8. This was, I think, actually over. I said 5. It's 5.6. And this one's got cranberries and orange zest. And a cork that is jammed in there. Now that's a gusher. That is what you call, that's what you call a gusher right there. I'll be right back. All right, that was a fairly epic gusher. Quick note on gushers, how can you prevent them? You know, chilling a bottle down will help. Being prepared for it will help. In the case of a beer like that, nothing you can do. I mean, you might have seen me like reach for the bucket or something, or a glass, but when it's shooting into the air, not much that can happen. So you can see how much of the beer shot out. So this much ended up in a glass, and you saw me kind of pouring it, and then it's down to here now. So you got well over half a bottle gone. So why does that happen? Wild yeast oftentimes. They continue to chew up sugars and put out CO2. So CO2, as soon as it has someplace to go, boom, foams up. So I should have known when that thing was just, well, often that's not true. A lot of times the cork is like jumping out of the bottle when you're gonna have a gusher. So there's still some beer. I gotta do a little more cleanup afterwards, but let's get this done. It looks almost like hand soap, the color of it. It's got this really cool, like light pink floral color to it, like that really like bright pink hand soap that you see, like the generic hand soap, maybe diluted a little bit of a foam there. What does this beer even have in it? Cranberries and crap. Cranberry and orange zest. Not quite as lemony up front as this guy. I got a little bit of lemon. The last two shows have been out of control. I may not play them in order, so this may not make sense to you, but geez. You know, I think I'm getting a little bit more of the orange zest than I am the cranberry. I mean, it's got somewhat muted, kind of like a floral nose, kinda. Yeah, like white flowers, white flower petals. Not as lively on the tongue. The carbonation is gone from the beer. It's just jumped out. And it's nice. Feels a little fuller due to the lack of carbonation, very likely. It's got that same restrained fruit character to it, but it doesn't have the acidity for that fruit to kind of play off of. So now it's just kind of muted and muted. Muted carbonation, muted fruit, muted acid. Just tastes muted. You know, probably not the best example of that beer in the world, but not a bad beer. All right. Let's see if any got in here. No, none. Okay, so. This is the Mainer Weiss. This one is, I'm holding the cork in, Maine wild blueberries. It's kind of cool, and cinnamon sticks. I've never had a Berliner with cinnamon that I know of, so. I'm aiming it out a little bit because I don't want it to get on me. These corks are jammed in there. Oh, whoop, 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 boo. Nope, we should be fine. Got a little carbonation jumping out there. All right, let's take a look here. Similar in color to the last one, a little bit more golden, hazier as well than the first. Nice foam on there. Cinnamon jumps right out at you. I mean, this smells like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Not really, but it's big and cinnamony. I mean, it doesn't not have that French toast smell to it though. What I'm trying to do is see if I'm getting anything else in the cinnamon. The cinnamon pretty much dominates it. If you're going to try to get anything else but the cinnamon, you really have to dive in there and figure it out. There's a little bit of that tartness, that perceived tartness that I was getting in the first one, but it's very much cinnamon. It's nice. You know, the cinnamon's not overwhelming on the palate. The acidity really kind of braces you against the cinnamon. You do get a good amount of nice tart blueberry flavor as well. I like this one. Quite nice. Mouth just watering from all that acid, but not overdone. You know, it's not like face sucking. Nice, refreshing. I mean, I like this one the best, but really nice beer. I wish there was a way, and I don't know if there is, to restrain the aromatic qualities of the cinnamon while retaining the flavor. Probably not possible, but that would be a wish list for me in this beer. But solid beers. I mean, Night Shift is doing some good stuff, you know. I mean, gushers are going to happen, especially when you're dealing with these types of beers. My hands are sticky. This table is sticky, so I got to do a full clean now. But guys, thank you so much. I'm going to get a nice little pour of these really nice small batch Berliner Weisses from Everett, Mass's own Night Shift Brewing. Hey guys, if you're ever out there, definitely stop by and pick it up. Sounds like some cool people doing some interesting things, some passionate guys, and just experimenting and see what works. Very much a homebrew mentality. So guys, until next time, I've got some delicious, thirst-quenching, refreshing Berliner Weiss to drink, and I hope that you do too. Cheers.